Hello and welcome to Graceful Connections. I am Sophie Bidard, your host on this journey of graceful exploration, discovery, healing, liberation, growth, and truthful expression. I'm so grateful that you've chosen to join us today, bringing your unique energy that pours into our circle of connection. Your presence here honors the calling within you to illuminate the treasures of your heart, which is what our guest, Heart Explorer Heidi Sue, will be sharing with us about today, and that's going to be fascinating for sure. So let's begin. Take a moment to let go of anything that doesn't serve this present moment. With each breath, feel yourself arriving more fully here. As we set our intention, may all that flows within our sacred space, be it words, vibrations, energies, serve the highest evolution of our souls and extend outwards in service to all. I invite you to open your heart and your mind to receive all the brilliance that awaits. Activating your connection to the new Earth crystalline grid and to the galactic center, the center of truth. You are perfectly held, both grounded and lifted. You are safe, relaxed, and ready and open to receive. Now I'm calling the orb of grace from the heart of the universe. And placing the orb of grace around our gathering, each and every one of us. That we be held in this orb of grace and infused with grace all along our time together. As grace permeates our field, it harmonizes and magnifies all that seeks alignment and illuminates all that longs for expression in accordance with divine will and the order of grace. And breathe. Beautiful. And within the orb of grace, I'm delighted to welcome Heidi Sue, Heart Explorer, Healer, and Intuitive, dedicated to supporting you in understanding that you are genuinely lovable just as you are. What a blessing to have you with us today, Heidi Sue. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Sophie. Hi, everyone. It's a great honor to be here with you all. So many expanding hearts. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Yes. So everyone, Heidi Sue will be sharing insight today on illuminating the treasures of your heart. And she will also offer live intuitive readings. So to request your reading, press *2 on the phone or click raise hand on the web to come on the line with Heidi Sue, or place your request in the Q&A box on the web. And the question to ask is, what's the number one block to my abundant heart? For now, let's dive into our fascinating topic, and I'd like to begin with asking you, Heidi Sue, can you explain what you mean by the heart abundance connection and why someone's energetic heart state would impact their prosperity?
I would be delighted to. This is a fascinating topic for me as well as I live these experiences. So the heart connection and abundance, a lot of it has to do with our worthiness and feeling self-worthy. Are we connected? Do we feel worthy of ourselves? And when I say abundance, I'm not necessarily talking about just monetary or financial. I'm talking about the areas where your cup runs over when it comes to money, prosperity, opportunity, thriving relationship, optimal health, all of those things that make up for an abundant lifestyle, abundant living, where you just feel everything is just exquisitely delightful. And when this came about, I actually had a visual of a treasure chest opening up to reveal the expansive light. So in everyone's heart is a treasure chest. And when you open it up, there's this light. And interestingly enough, light was created first. At the moment of conception, there's a spark. The spark is a light. When we jumpstart a heart, there is a spark. And even, for those who follow the biblical religion, the story of Genesis, light was created first before anything else, before water, soil, and plants. And so everyone has this light, this reservoir of treasures within the heart space. And it is the space where you are truly connected with the divine source, the creator of all things. This was initially created the moment the divine spark ignited, creating your essence within the womb. And that is the consummate source of divine unconditional love. And this, my friends, this is your treasure.
So, what is the one key ingredient that allows abundance to flourish naturally? What is that essential element, and why do so people seem to miss it? And we're so happy that and blessed that you're here to reveal it to us, or to remind or reveal it to us.
It was one of those aha moments, like, oh my goodness. So we talk about this idea of love unconditionally, unconditional love. It's like, okay, all right. And sometimes it's just challenging to do, And in the human world, we talk about the value of loving unconditionally with using apologies, cooperation, patience, forgiveness, and consideration for others, and not holding yourself to the ideal of being perfect or perfection. Just do not expect to be perfect. Things will have challenges, and be graceful about it, have grace with it. And so that is not the unconditional love I am talking about. That secret ingredient is this divine unconditional love that most humans cannot fathom, including me. We are all on this call because we all have this inner remembrance of what that divine unconditional love was feeling, the essence from when we were initially created. There's an element of faith in all of us that we know there is this all-encompassing love that no words can adequately describe the sensation. It's just this true treasure, and it's a consistent, infinite love inherent in all things and action, and it's expressed as an infinite brilliance. I mean, for humans, the best word that we have in the English language is the word I'm using, light. But it is so much more superior than a mere light. It's not something we can see, but we all have the capability to witness it and experience it.
So how does it impact our relationship with abundance and prosperity then?
Okay, so that's a great question. So with unconditional love, it's the feeling that everything is connected. Everything out there has an element of love within it, even if we disagree with it. Just because we disagree, how can that look like love when it's harmful? There's an element of love somewhere in there, and we only have a limited vision of this as a human. We cannot see the big picture. So, for example, it is intentional for us to cultivate unconditional love when we have human tendencies and influences such as assigning meaning or placing expectation. The logical human mind often confuses human love and deep affection as hallmarks of unconditional love, but that's where the heartbreaks and the disappointment come. So it's not the same thing. So when we have the divine unconditional love, when we are aligned with that, that's when serendipities happen. That's those moments where, oh, I was just thinking about you, and you get a phone call from that person that you haven't heard from in a while, but you were thinking about them. That's the energetic level of the much bigger capacity of connection among all things in that higher realm where divine unconditional love flows. So, I mean, each star, snowflake, fingerprints are all uniquely designed. And so within that, every person has that treasure chest within them where that divine unconditional love is within them. And it's expressed when we open it up and align with that essence. We have amazing things happen in our world. And we get a glimpse of this. I'm pretty sure most of you on this call have had moments where, wow, that was amazing how that worked out. No, those are just a hint of divine unconditional love, you being in alignment, and the things that we're hoping to happen did happen for you in that moment. So when we start to recognize ourselves as how the divine created us and knows us, and we don't block that recognition with our own self-doubt, low self-esteem, or self-worthiness, then those amazing treasures that we already are will start to emanate and come forth. And that's the humbling experience, and gratitude touches upon this. So if you were to think, a lot of times people say, we need to be in gratitude, be grateful for the experiences, be grateful for where you are right now in this moment. And there's some power in that, because gratitude is the air that fuels the flame of divine unconditional love.
All right. And are there gratitude, are there other practices or ways that you recommend that we adopt that will help us cultivate our access to the unconditional divine unconditional love?
So what's unique about this is we all have unique ways of touching upon that. As I hinted earlier, every snowflake or fingerprint, they're all unique. So everyone has that. But there is a common grouping, such as, being in, they say, meditation and prayer. Prayer is when you ask. Meditation is when you listen. So those thoughtful, quiet moments of silence are very encouraging for being able to be in that space. There are different things. For some people, it's the act of when they are painting or drawing, just other energy just comes through them. That's their gift. That's their way of expressing and connecting in with the divine unconditional love. That's why sometimes people will just step back and look, I created that, and they didn't realize they removed the human part of themselves and just be open up their heart and just allow the energy to flow through. And so there's different ways of cultivating that and then encouraging those essences, yes. But, even being on this call, this is one example, which is very, very profound, very powerful.
So we're doing it. We're doing it already. We're doing it already. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Let's take a moment to pause on that.
You being in this moment right here, listening to this beautiful, graceful connection episode and being in the orb of grace, you're already tapping in with that divine unconditional love, and you sensed it.
Yes. I hesitate to interrupt, but we can keep cultivating. Ideally, we want to stay in that state and keep having our conversation, right?
Yes.
So let's do that. One question I have for you, Heidi Sue. We're here to illuminate the treasures of our hearts, and I understand that we all have our own unique treasures, I suppose, right? But do you have examples of what treasures, like significant examples or meaningful examples, whatever examples come to your attention to talk about right now? What are we really talking about when we talk about the treasures of our heart?
So when we are talking about the treasures of our heart, this is the toolbox, if you will. So let's see here. Let me think about this. So we have been provided, when we are created within that initial divine spark, we are also provided with things that we love within our own being. This and bear with me, the things that you love to do, the things that you dream of, that's your unique expression of your treasure. The things that you love to do and truly love to thrive, your passion, they're inherent within your being. Incorporating these activities is actually a conduit for you to express divine unconditional love through you. Even if you don't recognize it within yourself, that's how it's coming out when you do the action of your purpose activity, the things that you love to do. And this is really unique here. So if there are things that you love to do and you could just do it and you have no expectations of any return for doing your unique contributions, you don't necessarily want to do this as a job, as a source of income, or as a source of appreciation or acceptance. These are just the things that you love to do. That's part of your unique expression for your treasure that you give out. And so when we start to recognize ourselves, how the divine created us and knows us, we don't block that recognition with our own self-doubt and low self-esteem or self-worthiness. Then what we are, that's our treasure. So it's really interesting because it's actually a toolbox within us with all these tools that we express out into the world. And at the time we are expressing out into the world, we're building up our own being, our own essence. It's just a really fascinating, think of it as, okay, I came here on earth and here I am I have my own unique personality. I have my own unique things I like to do, things I do not like to do, things that could be my life purpose that I need to learn. But then there are things that of a higher vibrancy that I like to do this. I like to read. I like to write. I like to paint. I like to fix. I like to plant and garden. I mean, I like to cook. All of those things, when you are in those moments doing something that just makes your heart sing, that's the treasure, because you're giving the essence of you out into the world.
So this is about our gifts, our talents, our abilities, and our enjoyment in them, right?
That is one thing, but for some people, they may be feeling like, well, I don't have the thriving relationship. How do I find that? And so it is their gift, but also achieving the experience of living abundantly. And if there are things missing in their life, you know, I do all of these wonderful things, but I'm still missing something. This is what it's about. This is okay. So how do we take the perfect person that you already are and don't change that? Just remove the weed out of the way. Remove the blocks out of the way so that you can shine. You don't want to change who you are. You just want to be your perfect self in that moment. But there are some internal barriers within the heart space that people realize, no, I'm pretty sure that people do not think of me that way. And it's like, well, how do you know? Because we don't always see ourselves that way. And if we saw ourselves, if there's this expression, boy, if you could see you through my eyes, you would be amazed. And that's the truth. I mean, I see people just absolutely brilliant, and that person will deflect. No, I don't think so. You're mistaken, or you're hallucinating. It's like, no, I can see this capability within you, this amazing gift you have within you. And people often are surprised. Me? Me? Just that little action step I do? Just the mere fact that I can make the best ever chicken noodle soup from scratch, or a vegetarian goulash, and that's my gift. And they don't understand. It's like they diminish themselves. And when they diminish themselves in their own essence, it's no wonder that sometimes the things that they are hoping to have experience with in their human life are not coming to them. It's a block.
Yeah, definitely. And well, we're so blessed to have you to perceive the gifts, the treasures, and the blocks. So we're going to get very specific about the blocks to our abundant hearts with the intuitive readings in just a moment. One thing more I would like to ask you, Heidi Sue, because many people, yes, do feel unfulfilled or struggle to maintain their abundance. So how does self-worth, you've mentioned self-worth, how does self-worth play into our ability to not just achieve, but actually receive and sustain prosperity?
So there is the element of faith and openness. Just because you experience something does not mean it's true. Just because you experience the idea of feeling rejected does not mean it is not connected to being unworthy. You have to have that faith. So, in other words, we're all divine, unconditional love sparks. That's our main core ingredient. And it's this wonderful, magnificent essence that sometimes, as I mentioned earlier, in the human world, we have a hard time grasping it because we're very tangible. We want to see it. We want to feel it. We want to be able to hear it. But it's that whisper If we are very highly, highly tuned and very silent, we may be able to get a glimpse of it. And so just because you experience these things does not mean it's true. There is no way, that you are not worthy. We might feel it, myself including. We might feel those, but that's not the truth of us. And that's where we need to elevate outside of the human mind and just work with the other layers of our brain capacities, our mind capacities, where we know, we read words about it, we hear people speak, we're in the orb of grace, we are feeling things, or we are sensing things. Oh, this is pretty cool. Or we experience the serendipitous, the amazing grand opportunity. For example, here's an actual concrete human life example. There's a woman, very humble, which is different than being not feeling self-worthy. She's humble. She does not have a lot of money. She, in the human economic standpoint, some people would say she lives at the poverty level, but she's blessed. She's just, she has a family. She's got shelter. She's blessed. And even though at this point she's a widow, her husband, who she loved for so many years, has gone on. Her grandson was getting married. And she didn't have the funds. She didn't have the money. She's just very simple as far as the lifestyle, very basic. And there was a bookstore in the town, and this is a very small town, less than 600 people, very small town. So they didn't have a whole lot going on. It's a farming town. And one day she just walked in, and the most magnificent dress was hanging right there in the front of the store when she walked in. It was her size, perfect color, perfect dress for her grandson's wedding. It was just magnificent. And it was like it just appeared out of nowhere. I mean, that is a grand opportunity. She had the faith just because she didn't have that story of, I have no money, everything's all about money, I can't buy a nice dress. She just had the faith, okay, this will be provided for me. I don't know how, but this will happen. I will have a nice outfit for my grandson's wedding. And my goodness, when I saw her in person, it was like, whoa, where did you get that dress? That was exquisite. I mean, I still have a picture of her. That is her picture. Everyone is just raving. She did not look better than the bride, I will say that. But, she was the best person there. And she didn't have that story of, I don't have money. She's just like, I don't know how, but I will have a dress, and I would like to have a dress, and I'm very gracious about it, full of gratitude. And that's the thing about you, Sophie. You used to do those claiming keys. I don't know how.
Mm-hmm. I still do. Yes, they are still alive. Yes, absolutely. Because, yes, they have such an efficiency, even if I don't know how.
Even if I don't know how, I will be, gifted or granted, or so those are the little things. So it's really interesting because it's so easy to be, I don't have the money to do this. No, that's the block, and we're going to change. That's why those wording is basically putting up a shield of resistance. And because it's such a light essence, light is the best word I can describe it, but it's even lighter than light. Those simple little barriers, they work as a barrier against that exquisite brilliance, the abundance, the healing, healing on so many levels.
All right, so I think now would be a good time to get personal with the intuitive readings, Heidi Sue. We all want to know what's blocking, especially our abundant heart, exactly as we're talking about the blocks, right? Let's get personal about the blocks. So everyone, to request your reading, press *2 on the phone or click raise hand on the web to come on the line with Heidi Sue, or place a request in the Q&A box on the web and ask, what's the number one block to my abundant heart? And we're going to start with live callers, then we'll go to the Q&A, and we'll go back and forth. So let's begin going to Coral Springs, Florida. On the phone, 6038 are the last digits. I'm unmuting you. Hello.
Hello, Sophie, Heidi. This is Andrea.
Hello, Andrea. I thought that was you. Welcome, Andrea.
Thank you, Siri. What's the number one block to my abundant heart?
Oh, thank you. So good to hear your voice. Okay. So tuning in. Okay, so what's coming through, I'm actually seeing, so it's interesting how this works with me. Everyone does this uniquely. So that's my treasure. This is my unique way of expression. I see visuals and pictures and sensations, and sometimes it comes out as a story, so bear with me. And I will try to shorten this instead of going into the big story. But what I'm seeing is there is a sense of grief. There was, as a young child, what I'm seeing is a visual of a young child hugging a loved dog. The dog they loved, they did everything together, and they're hugging each other. Well, the child is hugging the dog, but the dog is just in exquisite love of the child hugging it. And then the dog passed on, and there's this overwhelming sense of grief. And in that moment, there was this feeling of there will never be another love like this one again. That was my one and only love. I can never have another one. And that's a block, because you have all of us, especially you and all of us, have the capacity to love infinitely. So it's not just one finite moment. It might be that one person or that one essence, but it comes back, and it comes back in different forms. So there is no limit to the amount of love you can feel, but the idea of grief does put a huge barrier on, and we can actually work with that in such a way that we don't lose the loving experience we had with that one particular person or pet, and you will feel a different type or a different essence of love with another person or another pet. We can keep that essence. It's so unique, but we want to remove the block of feeling I'll never experience another love like that again, or I'm not ever going to have another person or pet like that again. But that's actually a block right there.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, it resonates a lot. Thank you so much.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you. All right. So before we take the next caller, we're going to have you do many readings, Heidi Sue, for sure. And then we're going to have you share about how you are here to support us with clearing those blocks, right? I want everyone to know that today we're into the identification of blocks, but you are here to support us, Heidi Sue, into the clearing of blocks, and we're going to talk about this in a bit later. So with that clarity, let's go on. We're going to Santa Fe, New Mexico with Shannon. I'm unmuting you. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Shannon. Welcome. Yes, welcome.
Oh, hi to Heidi and to Sophie there. Thank you for taking this. So what's the number one block to my abundant heart?
Okay, thank you. That's good. So tuning in with you, your heart. So the number one block I'm seeing is a shadow. So it's an essence of I'm this brilliant light, and this shadow comes over. So it's the feeling of being oppressed. There's a feeling of oppression. And it's actually not yours. It's actually I use the terms like sometimes we have our moments in this human lifetime, but sometimes we bring things from a genealogical line or a, past lifeline, those kind of things. And this is a genealogical line I'm seeing where there was this feeling of your lineage. Many people were oppressed. Brilliant minds, brilliant minds, and they were feared by other people, so they were oppressed off to the side. There's a lot of scientific brilliance, and also it's really fascinating. I'm also seeing spiritual gift brilliance, but the scientific brilliance is also in the same line. So there's this feeling of your lineage. You have the ability to see things that most people don't see, predict things that most people can't even fathom that would come down the pipe, and also create things of a very high scientific level that could be used on Earth. So I find that very fascinating. But your block has to do with being oppressed, and then we could remove that block with a private session. But with that block, it could actually open up and go back into your lineage so that you are able to radiate your truth, your gifts, because those are your gifts. And that's why you don't feel that, because it's being shadowed. And there's an element of fear coming from outside elements, which is not yours, but you can definitely feel the oppression. So that's what I'm seeing.
That sounds encouraging. If I can release it, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shannon. So stay on the line, and in a little while, Heidi Sue is going to share about this private session she's offering. Thank you. Blessings, Shannon. Okay, we're going to San Mateo, California, 2862 are the last digits. I'm unmuting you. Hello. Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome. What is your name, please?
Marsha.
Hi, Marsha.
Hi.
Welcome. Hi.
Thank you. So, yeah, what is my number one block to?
Okay. So the number one block that's coming through is this element of fear and drowning, like being, and it's actually, I'm seeing a physical sensation of drowning in water, but it's the drowning, and then there's a fear of not wanting to revisit those again. Emotions, a lot of times people talk about the symbolism of water being emotion, and so it's the fear of, nope, I'm just going to keep everything nice and contained and controlled, and I don't want to step out of my own little bubble here because I cannot handle those emotions, handle those overwhelming sensations again. So that's what I'm sensing with yours.
Okay, that makes sense.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marsha. So, yes. Sorry?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And stay with us. You will hear about how you can clear this fear with Heidi. Thank you.
If I may say something here, I know these are readings, and then you're thinking, well, what am I supposed to do with that? Sometimes the act of clarity and understanding, oh, you mean this isn't just all in my own mind? This is what's happening? Sometimes that clarity is reassuring. So, no, this is not just within your own mind. It's reassuring you. It can be sensed, and it can be overcome. It can be achieved with a newer outlook, with specific techniques. So, go ahead, Sophie.
Yeah, no, I love it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you, Marsha. Blessings. Okay, let's go. We have plenty of requests, so let's keep moving, getting as many requests served as possible. We're going to Fort Lauderdale, Florida. 8100 are the last digits on the phone. Hello. Hello, welcome. Yes, welcome. What is your name, please?
My name's Rosemary.
Hi, Rosemary.
Hi.
Rosemary.
So, what do you see as the number one block to my abundant heart?
So what I'm seeing in this one is somebody who's an adrenaline seeker, an adventuresome person who is, again, I'm seeing a little kid riding a bicycle really fast, like, oh man, on top of the world, just excited and all out. Somebody who goes all out and then crashes and lands and burns. And they get up and they do it again, but they've done it so many times, they're at the point it's like, oh, yeah, okay, I'm done with this. It's like they feel like they can't be effective. They're just not able to put out their whole selves out there anymore because it'll just be another wall to crash into. So that's what I'm seeing with this one. This is a block of feeling like, why bother? It's just going to crash and burn and just forget it. Not even worth it. And my friend, that is keeping the lid shut on your treasure chest.
Okay, well, I understand that. I use those words, crash and burn, getting out of prison and getting caught and put back in all the time. It's one setup after another. It's been kind of weird.
So
yeah.
that's the feeling. And then the feeling of just that there is a term, they call it the victim mentality, where it's just like, why bother? It's just, I keep trying and I keep doing things and I'm making progress, but 2 steps forward, 5 steps back, it's like, what is this? So I can sense that within your heart. That is what your heart space is showing me, but it's also showing that it doesn't have to be this way for the rest of your human life.
Is it ancestral? Because I have a lot of
ancestral.
Yeah.
It stands very high. It stands very high on that, but it's so intense in this moment that it may be ancestral, but we're also carrying it forward. Sometimes we're doing the work on Earth where we're helping clear, and we may not experience what our ancestors did. We might have little hints of it within our life experiences, but I'm feeling in this moment it's so heavy that there needs to be more releasing of it so it doesn't keep going forward.
I've been trying for so
Thank
many
you.
years.
So yeah, can the
away.
session help? Can the session would the private session you're going to
Yes.
talk about, Heidi Sue, can it support?
The session will help. In fact, I can sense the heart healer standing up. So yes, it will relieve a lot of that. And I won't know the full details until we go in. And I want to mention there is a couple of options, but the option with the one-on-one private session, I'm actually, the description says I am cooperating, but in a sense, it's not written right. It's cooperating. I'm working with the heart healers. What I'm doing is I'm holding the space, holding and preserving the space. I will describe to you what is coming through, what is happening, and provide you with instructions as the heart healers request it from their end. And so in previous sessions, I have seen where they will extract a blockage or infuse a healing essence within the heart space, and they're the true operators. So these are a series of beings that I call them the heart healers, the Maverick heart healers, and they're a series of beings who specialize with energetic heart procedures, bringing this esoteric knowledge and skill set. And so there's a little bit of history how I got introduced with them, but I will say that's when I finally recognized this group as the Maverick heart healers. And so the one-on-one is where I create that space with your permission and openness and willingness, and the heart healers will come in, do the work. I will translate in our human language what I'm sensing, feeling, and providing instruction for you. For some people, they needed to hold their breath. For other people, they needed to do something. I don't know. No two sessions are the same, and they're quite unique. But that's what I mean by the heart healers and the 101. And for your question, yes, I saw them standing up, and I don't want to go and take the time away from this moment, but I see there's a huge boulder that they could remove. And that's all I'm going to say right there.
Okay, thank you.
That's enough.
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah, stay with us, Rosemary, and you'll hear all about the private session and everything.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank
blessings.
you both.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, we are going. Let's take a few more readings, and then we will take a deep dive into the special offer, brilliant special offer you've created to support everyone with their abundant heart, Heidi Sue. For now, we're gonna go to some location. The last digits on the phone are 7782. So I'm unmuting you. I hope you can recognize yourself. 7782 are the last digits. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. What is your name, please?
Sonia.
Hi, Sonia.
Hi. Hi there, Heidi as well. I'd like to know what's the number one block to my abundant heart.
So right away, I get the feeling of you soaring, just beautiful soaring. It's limitless, it's beautiful, it's freeing. So let's see, let me tune in a little bit further with that. So the feeling is expansiveness. So it's not so much a block, but what it is this feeling of being so wide open, not having a sense of direction. And so it sounds odd because a block would be preventing you from doing something. In this case, there is so much going on. It's just so expansive that when you scatter and you are so expansive, all of those efforts just disappear in thin air, and people don't recognize your contributions because it's all being thinned out before it even reaches the recipient. So that's what I'm seeing is just this idea of I do everything, it's invisible, but people are not recognizing your gift. So there's something to do with the element of bringing in a channel, if you will, a conduit, so that it is not just, it's like speaking your words in a wind that's blowing in your face. So your words going out, the wind is taking your word behind you, and your love, your essence, your brilliance is not getting out where it would be the most effective and where you would feel it within you as, oh, okay, this feels good. This is mine. Does that resonate at all?
That really does. I could relate to that very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Blessings.
Thank you.
All right. Welcome back to more live callers. I want to take a couple of requests from the Q&A where there are so many requests, and then we'll hear about your special offer, Heidi Sue, and then we'll come back for more readings. So stay on the line, everyone. More readings are coming. For now, we're going to go on the Q&A. We're going to go to Denver with Carrie. So for Carrie in Denver, what's the number one block to Carrie's abundant heart?
What I'm seeing with this one is darkness. It's complete darkness, the inability to see. And when I step back and look back, there's sunglasses on. They're in the amazing, brilliant light, but they have purposely closed themselves off into darkness. Is it fear? It's trepidation. It's not a fear, but it's a trepidation like, I don't know if I want to do this. And so that's what I'm sensing with this one.
Mhm. Okay. And it can be cleared through this session.
It can be, yes. Yes, we
Okay.
can definitely remove those sunglasses and then increase the confidence level. And then when you feel, how many times have, all of you listening, how many times have you ever had the experience, and I've got my hand up raised, where I was so afraid of this change or this thing that I didn't know, or so afraid of the unknown that I was reluctant and I wasn't being more energetic as far as making things happen, like okay, or embracing it. But then when I finally had the experience, it was like, wow, what was I so afraid of? Why, that kind of situation. Oh, to be human.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Carrie. Blessings. Thank you, Heidi Sue. Let's go to Copenhagen with Viviane. For Viviane, what's the number one block to her abundant heart?
So this one is the feeling of being taken advantage of. It's just genealogical. This is another one of those genealogical lines where they were taken from. And so they've come up with the idea of don't flaunt, don't be, like they had to hide their true identity in order to survive. And that's the genealogical line, and we can clear that in a session. We go deep to the root cause. But that's what I'm feeling, is the feeling of I can't show my true self, otherwise there's this feeling of I will die, because if I show my true self, people will harm me. And so that's the block that I'm seeing within this heart space.
Okay. That one, and possibly other readings, maybe many other readings, may resonate for other listeners, right? So feel free, everyone listening, to collect. Obviously, Heidi Sue is reading the number one block, but we may have more than one. Is that right, Heidi Sue? So you can collect, you can make notes, and every reading that resonates for you, put it on your list, right? And
yes.
Notice what you're being response to, and gives you an indication of, oh, that's for me as well. Like I get this one too. Okay, thank you. Blessings to you, Viviane. Let's go to London with Rachel. For Rachel, what's the number one block to her abundant heart?
So with this one, I'm sensing where there's this feeling of I have to be a certain way, I have to do things a certain way in order to get approval. And it is so frustrating and it's so tiring when you are constantly giving up your own self-identity in order to please someone else. And so when you do that, you are removed from your own divine conduit of divine unconditional love in your treasure chest. So what's coming through is now I asked, what is the worst that can happen? Well, our mind, oh my goodness, yeah, just like in the last reading, death could happen, and we don't want that. There's an extreme fear, but with this one, it's just feeling like the acceptance. Will anyone accept me? And once I feel accepted, then I can bloom. And that's actually not true. That's not true. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. That's a condition, right? We start conditioning the unconditional love, so that's not gonna work. If we're putting conditions like I need to be accepted so I can. So yeah.
Correct.
All right. Okay, thank you, Rachel. Blessings. All right, we'll have you do more readings, Heidi Sue. For now, let's go to discover the wonderful offering you've created, HEARTSPACE Treasures Illumination. We'd love to hear all about it. So for everyone to follow, you can go to gracefulconnections.com/heart. That's graceful with two L's, as in full of grace, gracefulconnections.com/heart. If you're on the web, you have a button and a link. And if you're on the replay, just scroll down the page and discover Heidi Sue's special offer. Heidi Sue, please reveal what you have created exclusively for our audience.
So you have two options. We have the one-on-one session that I had mentioned about the heart healers, and we work with the heart healers, very specific to help clear, remove those blocks and expand the brilliance and the openness as well. And there may be some instructions and those kind of things. The Heart Treasures Revelation is a group workshop, and this is actually meant to provide clarity regarding action steps of all the participants that they can do or follow in order to achieve that attitude of abundance. Now, this isn't going to be just a generic. You might hear some of the generic ideas, like, for example, if somebody is looking for a relationship and they're always single and they're looking for Mr. or Mrs. Right, they should have things in twos in their house. I mean, that might come up if that is appropriate for the one participant. And everyone in the group session will gain some insights and knowledge. Another one might be for someone who is seeking money, like why I would like some more money. And then we divulge, well, how do you treat money? Do you treat money the same way you treat your pet or your family members? That might come through. So the group workshop is clarity on action steps for all participants in order to achieve that attitude of abundance that opens the door. And within that, the heart healers will come in and do an actual, I've got the space saved for them to do their own communication for the group. And so that's part of the special offering as well. And then we had talked about the ancestral or the lineage. And so I offer the forgiveness prayers. And in those are the remote radiant brightening. And so that is my unique offering to the world, where I do a specialized forgiveness prayers and specific for abundance and prosperity for 8 days straight, minimum at least once a day. So for everyone who has signed up, starting September 8th, you will have a feeling of being supported and held, which you are, and helping the forgiveness prayers will help remove those ancestral lineage and blocks of having to do with abundance and prosperity. So that's what those are, and they're unique. I do them quietly and remotely, and at random times throughout the day. I might get called in the middle of the night to just get up and just do the remote prayers for all of you. And it might come across as something like, for all times we had mistaken identities, or for all times we did this to others, and for all times others did this to us. And that helped release and reduce those type of essences or imprints that are in our ancestral or past life line. So that's what those are. So option one is you get all three, the private session, the group session, and the forgiveness prayers, the radiant brightening. And option two, you get the group session and the radiant brightening. So you have a choice, and that's up to you, to what you would like to do.
Yes, yeah. And I'd love, thank you, Heidi Sue. I'd love for you to talk a bit more about the private session, to let us get more understanding of what's happening there. It's a 1 hour private session, so a lot is happening during one hour. I suppose that you're not clearing only you are working, as you said, with the Sacred Heart Healers. So they are doing the clearing, but it's not only about the number one block, right? So can you tell us a bit more about this private session and what it does for us?
Sure, thank you. So with the private session, we will get together, and it's just you and I, and then we will ground in, and then with your permission, I will scan for your heart, and things will come up. Your heart will show or tell me what the biggest blocks are, what it needs to be done, and then the heart healers are on standby. You'll be taken into the space where the heart healers are, and then they will also start to operate, quote unquote, operate within the heart, where, so we've had sessions where it was very quiet, and I used my hand, so you might feel the feelings and sensation. It's all energy, so it's nothing, you're not being touched on figuratively, literally, but there's an energetic essence where it's figuratively, and then you'll just start to feel, as I'm doing this, the heart healers are doing their work, and then I will explain to you and then give you some direction for something to do or what's coming up for you. So this one-on-one session is interactive. We will have a dialogue with each other going through the process. So for those of you who are familiar with the idea of guided journeys and meditation, this is unique because we are actually having a conversation, and there'll be moments of silence where you just sit in a state of stillness and just keep breathing or do deep breathing while they're working on your heart space. And it's really fascinating because most people feel something when they come away from it. I just thank the heart healers and all of the supportive beings that are in the presence to help feel that, to help with the healing, and then come away with the lightness of it. So that, does that answer your question, Sophie?
Yes, and I mean, there's all the details. I'm going to tell everyone, really get into the special offer page, go to gracefulconnections.com/heart, or click on the link or the button on the web page, or scroll down if you're on the replay. And there's really a very detailed description of the session and what you gain from it, as well as for the workshop, the group session, and the remote radiance brightening. So option 1, option 2, and they are very generously priced. There's for PayPal, 4 payment option offered in many countries, available in many countries, that you can benefit from, and stay along with us or until the end of our time together, as we will be sharing a special announcement at the end of our gathering, and you will want to be sure to hear it. So more about this later. Thank you, Heidi Sue. Let's go back to have you do more readings if you're ready for that, ready for more. We have more hand raised, so let's go back to the live callers, and then we'll take more requests from the Q&A. For now, we are going to Ocean Isle with Pamela. I'm unmuting you, Pamela. Hello. Hi, hello. Pamela. Hello, Pamela. Okay. We cannot hear you, Pamela, but Heidi Sue, can you please do the reading for Pamela in Ocean Isle? She's put the request in the Q&A box as well.
Okay, all right. So, Pamela, tuning in with you. First of all, thank you. Oh, my goodness. So, right away, I get this thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, and you are so welcome. It's just, I'm blown away by your gratitude. Wow. So, okay, tune in. Okay, so what's actually coming through is, and thank you, I appreciate your gratitude, but I also see that it's an element of, if I do all of the talking, I'm going to do all of the talking, and it's ironic that right now we can't hear you on this call, but your heart space is showing this this overwhelming. So when we have a fire and we have a fire truck that brings water to spray water onto the fire to diminish the fire, that sensation of water coming out of the fire hose is so intense. There's a lot of pressure. And so the idea of being able to drink from the fire hose is just not possible. You're overwhelmed. That's what's coming through, is like you have been wanting to be heard. You need to be heard. And your heart is just very busy, just very busy communicating out and not allowing that, okay, you are heard. And there's something within the heart space that's saying, I'm not heard. No one's listening to me. So the louder I get, the more I get, I will be heard. But then it's a vicious cycle because we don't often hear ourselves as well because we're so busy projecting out. So that's what I'm sensing with yours, Pamela. It's beautiful, and thank you. I appreciate your gratitude.
Let's see if we can have Pamela on the line. Pamela, are you there? Well, I hope you received your reading. We cannot hear you, but I hope you could hear it. Thank you, Pamela. Blessings. Thank you, Heidi Sue. Okay, one quick note. Rachel, you did get your reading just a moment ago, so if you didn't hear your reading, you will catch up with the replay. Okay, thank you, Rachel. And we're going to Pompano Beach, Florida with Tamara. I'm unmuting you, Tamara. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, Tamara.
Hello, Sophie and Heidi Sue. And what is my number one blockage in my heart?
Okay. Whew. Yep, to your abundant heart. So what is the number one blockage to your abundant heart? So this one is the feeling, it's another one of the feeling being drowned out. But it's also feeling scattered where there's so many things going on and I'm drowning with the things I need to do. And the heart is feeling like, okay, you have multiple passions. You have been designed in such a way that you have many, many, many gifts. But it's this feeling of I'm drowning and I can't handle it. And so it's almost like a feeling of entrapment because I'm doing too much, but the more I do, the more I sink down. And it's almost like a quicksand feeling is what's coming up. So for you, it's the feeling of just too much all at once and just not being able to express your true self because you're getting entrapped.
Oh, that really rings clearly. I could say it on the phone. I'm in a guardianship by my choice. I wanted to be taken care of. And now that the choices I've made before with being taken care of, I find that I've found myself a lot and am happy with me and don't need to take care of, but I'm not in a position to make decisions. And the decisions being made on my behalf or for me are totally counterproductive and harmful to my health. So I do feel trapped. I feel drowning. Yeah, that's so true.
So one of the things about the abundant heart that not everyone may realize is the sense of justice. There's this sense of, with the abundant heart, you have finances, you have relationships, you have health, you have opportunities. You also have this element of things that will change in the sense of, and I don't mean justice as the legal issue, but as far as, okay, this is no longer for my highest good. How do I get out of this? And with the abundant heart, when you're open, all of a sudden, you'll have this moment of inspiration. Oh, I wonder if I try this. It'll change everything. Or if you bump into someone, hey, I can help you with that. That's the sense of justice. So just putting that out there, abundance isn't always just about accumulating. It's also making things right with ease.
Oh, excellent. Yes, this is most helpful, and how to really be able to realize I no longer need this. It's not for my highest good. And it can change even if I am in a position, albeit through my original choice. Yes, I would love to be able.
Yeah, remember earlier in the session we said, even if I don't know how. So that's a mantra that's coming through for you. Even if I don't know how. Yeah. So
would the package, is there a specific option, or option 1 or option 2 that would best support Tamara, Heidi Sue?
Okay, so scanning. So they both scan very high. A lot of it because of the remote radiance, and actually we haven't hinted at it, but the fast action bonus would really be helpful.
Yes, we're gonna talk about it. So stay until the end, Tamara.
Because that is coming through pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
But the private session will help if just a few numbers higher. They both scan very high. One is like 94% and the other one is 96%. So they both packages scan higher for you. The private session might be something, but what's really going to help for you in this situation is the remote radiance brightening and the fast action bonus, which I'll leave that for Sophie to mention.
You will mention it, but we'll talk about it at the end. That's our surprise announcement. So stay with us, Tamara. And there is help available. The great news is that there is help available and support. And it's offered to you. It's available. Thank you, Tamara. Blessings. Thank you. All right. We are going to South San Francisco, California with Kathy. I'm unmuting you, Kathy.
Hi, Sophie.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hi, Kathy. Welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
And hi, Heidi Sue. I haven't heard you in a long time. I'm so glad to hear you. I would appreciate to know what the number one block to my abundant heart is.
You are the one. Oh boy. Okay. So when I got up this morning, I kept hearing this one word, and it's just this one word, and it's a unique word, and it's like, okay, what is that word? And I just kept hearing it, and there was going to be a reading today that involved this one word. And the word is, I'm going to pronounce it like I see it spelled. It's Tamachat, T as in Tom, A, M as in Mary, A, Cat, C-H-A-T, all one word. And for you, the block for you is the fact that there is everything happening for you. You go out and do things, and you're very vibrant, and you're fantastic, but there is no, it's the feeling of going through the motion, and you don't intend it this way, but your heart is showing me that there needs to be more of the deliberate intention, the meditation behind every action that you take. And Tamachat is coming through for you and it may resonate with other people on the call. So when you go out and perform a service or go out and talk to someone or make a phone call or go interact, or even when you get in the car and drive, are you taking a moment to provide that intention behind it of what you want your outcome to be? And then as you're going through the process, it's a journey. So it's the feeling of what I'm seeing with your heart is you're just rushing through everything. I've got so much to get done. I'm just going to get it done. Check, 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 done. But then there's no feeling of the gift that you have provided in those action steps. So Tamachat is coming through for you, and you're welcome to look up that word. I believe it's a Buddhist word.
Okay. Wow. I'll have to sit with that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Blessings, Kathy. Okay, let's go to the Q&A where there are many, many requests. So thank you everyone for your interest. We're going to go to Manchester with Twyla. For Twyla, what's the number one block to her abundant heart?
So the number one block I'm seeing is a tightening, being tied up. Wow. So it's coming through as a genealogical line of captivity and being held against the will, tied up is what's coming up. So that's the block, and that can help with the private session. Either one will work fine, but the block is coming through in such a way that it's like, I can't break free. And you're very strong, and you're doing all the right work, but there's just something that just has you tied up, and it's like, it's frustrating. And because of that frustration, it keeps compounding. So the energy is building on itself, this entire element of frustration. But that's what I'm seeing with your heart. And yeah, you are very strong. You are able to release this. Just keep persevering. You will release this.
Is there an option 1 or option 2, that would best support Twyla?
So interestingly enough, option 2 scans a little bit higher than option 1, but they both scan good.
Okay,
so
there is support for you as well, Twyla. Thank you. Blessings. We are going to Sacramento with Patricia. What's the number one block to Patricia's abundant heart?
So what I'm seeing with this one is being tired, very tired. There's a feeling that there might be a health issue with this, but I see the tiredness as I'm seeing a mom with, I think there's at least 20 kids all running around. I mean, there's a visual, very extreme visual of all of these children running around and just tired. So the feeling is being tired. And so the idea of, okay, how do I do this? You know, how do I increase my energy? But I'm also sensing there's a little bit of a health issue that may be involved with this. And so that is a block. And how many times do we know we need to take care of our health first? And that's how we help. And the thing is, it might sound so basic, but healthy people can help others get healthy. When you're not healthy yourself, you're not in a position to help others because it only depletes you more. So the same idea is when you are healthy, taking the time, and it's not being selfish. It's building up your reservoir. It's building up your strength. And then you can go out and help others. So many of us run ragged that we give way more than what we are really willing to receive. And by the way, that is a staple in the forgiveness prayers that I do, is praying for all those times we gave more than we were willing to receive. So that's what I'm sensing with this one.
Thank you. Thank you. Blessings, Patricia. Okay, we are going to Singapore with Lucille. What's the number one block for Lucille's abundant heart?
Hi, Lucille. Okay, tuning in with you. So with this one, I'm seeing you already have abundance. You already have it. And the heart is saying, it's here. Why is there no recognition of it? So let me tune in a little bit deeper on that. So the abundance is there, but it's the unwillingness to acknowledge. In other words, Okay, so that's what's coming through. So there's gratitude, there's gratefulness, but I just don't appreciate it. I don't want this. And it's this idea of I don't want this. Why? So, okay. Whew. So with this one there is a lot of abundance around you, but it's almost a turn off. Like it's so superficial that it just disgusts me. So there's this element of anger, like I don't want that this, even though I'm comfortable, this is what I want, I don't want it at the same time. So there's this double bind going on where having the abundance would make things easier and prettier, but at the same time, it's going to bring up all these things that I feel I get angry at superficial because it doesn't solve the world. It's like money cannot buy happiness. For some people, when there's an extreme health issue, they pay all the money in the world for the best health care in the world, and the person still didn't get healthy. So it's that element of anger and frustration with what money represents for you within your heart space.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually coming across as within a lineage as well.
Okay. So the forgiveness prayers are gonna help, especially with that. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. Forgiveness actually, and the fast action as well. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very good. So there is help. There is help for everyone. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Let me see. Blessings to you. Thank you. All right. That was for Lucille. Yes, thank you, Lucille. We are going to Boston, Massachusetts with Carol. What's the number one block for Carol to her abundant heart?
Hey, thank you for that. I'm tuning in with you. So with this one, it's blinding. It's just, wow, there's so much. It's just so much light. It's not knowing which way to turn. So there's a lot of confusion in this one. So the block is because of that confusion. Like there's so many opportunities. There's so much is here, but I don't know how to handle this. I don't know which way to go. I don't know what to do. And when we had such a large task, we have no idea how to break it down into manageable parts. That's what's coming across. It's this idea of confusion, and because of being confused, it's hard to get clarity about where to start. But there's also a feeling coming through is once it gets started, I get pulled off of it and go in a different direction. And not because you're easily distracted, it's because there's other exterior influences that are pulling you. Like once you start to do something, you can't finish it, and it's frustrating. And so now everything had built up to be so much to do, and it's confusing. Like how do I manage this? What do I do now? So that's what I'm sensing.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Carol. Blessings. We're going to have the request from another Carol in Sacramento. What's the number one block to Sacramento, Carol, her abundant heart?
So this one is the feeling of floating in the ocean. I just see you floating in the ocean and wanting guidance. There's this feeling of I need to be told what to do. I want someone to tell me what to do. I don't want to make the decision myself. I want to have someone tell me what to do, and then I'll do it. And so that actually is a block, because when someone else tells you what to do, they're coming from their own space. It may not resonate with what's available for you. You might have a beautiful serving heart, but the act of service that you provide are not coming from your core essence, your treasure box. your own abundant treasure. When you operate from your own heart center, that's when everything opens up and lines up. But in a sense, you're giving your power away. Like you're not taking ownership of your own power. You want someone else to tell you what to do, and then you'll do it, and then you feel great. And it's wonderful. Like I said, I love the serving heart, but where are you the servant? Are you the servant of someone else, or are you the servant of what created you in the first place? Are you the servant to that divine unconditional love within your own heart space, from where you came from the higher source, from the creator?
All right. So which option would best support Carol, please?
So they both scan very high. There's only 1 point difference between the two. The option 2 scans just a little bit higher than option 1, but option 1 will actually help you come into a bigger sense. However, again, it's coming from you. You have to have the answer come from yourself and have trust and faith within yourself, because here we are. I'm also falling into that same situation where I'm telling you what's best. Now, granted, I scan, with your permission, I scanned, but there's something within your being that once you make that decision, you do that decision, and then everything will open up for you.
Okay. So it's offered and it's your decision. It starts with your decision, Carol. Thank you. Blessings.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Heidi Sue. Heidi Sue, are you good to keep going? You've been very generous with the readings. Are you good to keep going, or how are we doing? How is your energy?
You know, I'm doing good. I'm loving the space, and I love the support of everyone on this call and on the replay as well. So yes, I'm willing to keep going.
Thank you. Thank you. So we'll keep going. We have many, many requests in the Q&A, so I appreciate, and I'm sure everyone appreciates, that you are being so generous and available and offering us the abundance from your heart, Heidi Sue. You are the leader in this. So thank you, showing us the way. We're going to go all the way to Australia. We have a couple of requests in Australia. So let's start with Madison in Australia. What's the number 1 block to Madison's abundant heart?
Okay. So the number 1 block to Madison's heart is, I saw a little child playing with a doll, and then the big brother comes and takes it away from her and just snatches it away, just because they're just being big brothers, I guess, if you will. And so it's the feeling of being taken advantage of, and also having things disappear, like get taken from. This, unfortunately, the idea of theft and stealing is happening. So there's that fear of, I don't want to show my true self because I will just be taken advantage of, and the things that I put out there, people will steal from me, steal my identity, steal my ideas, steal my gifts. So that's the blocks that I'm sensing here, and yes, those can be removed. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Can they be removed with the session, with the workshop?
So the private one-on-one session stands highest, but there will definitely be some positive impact and clearing with the radiant brightening and fast action bonus offering.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Madison. Blessings. So we're staying in Australia for Katrina. What's the number 1 block to Katrina's abundant heart?
Hey, Katrina, tuning in with you. So I see lots of green. Oh, do you have a green thumb? So I see lots of greenery, but I also see where the outside influence is having to do with chemicals, for lack of a better term. I'm seeing chemicals and things of a toxicity nature coming through, toxicity. So the block to your heart is more about having to clean up and remove things that are toxic to you. So that's what's coming through for you.
And can the program help with that?
So the program can help let's see here. The group session scans the highest for you. So within the group session, there will be a idea that'll come through, and there'll be some revelation that comes through within the group session. And that'll be one of the topics that, if you're in that group, the heart healers will come in and address that. And it sounds like clarity is what you're seeking. It sounds like you're already doing the work, but there's this unawareness, or maybe there's awareness of this toxicity. How do I get rid of it? Clarity is what's going to help you get through to that, to get back into connection with your abundant heart.
Okay, so option 2 for you, Katrina. Thank you. Blessings. Thank you, Heidi Sue. We are going. Where are we going? We are going to New York with Jill. What's the number 1 block to Jill's abundant heart?
Right, Jill. Okay, tuning in with you. So it's the feeling of being in the dark and being pulled in a direction that you don't want to go to, and not trusting the pulling. The pulling is coming across as your highest good, but there's a lot of reluctance and disagreement, like, no, this is not what I want to do. No. But actually, that is going to be leading you down the path. It's not going to be the end result, but it's leading you down the path of where you want to be as far as the abundant heart goes. And so within that block is not trusting in the divine, and not trusting in the higher good. And that's what's coming through for you, that I'm sensing in this moment.
All right.
So the sessions, if you wanted to check the session, the private session scans higher than option 2, but again, it's your choice, and I encourage everyone to tune in with their own heart and see what's right for you, because a lot of this also has to do with free will. Are you willing to do the work? For example, you're given a roadmap. You have the map to the treasure chest. Are you willing to walk that journey to go find the treasure chest, follow that map? So everything is free will as well. So we can be told all of these solutions and answers, but are we going to follow them? And that, a lot of it, is part of the work that you have here as being a brilliant human being, to align with the divine source of unconditional love while you are in the human realm.
All right. Thank you. Blessings, Jill. Thank you. We are going to Graham with Karen. For Karen, what's the number 1 block to her abundant heart?
Tuning in with you. Thank you. So I have this visual of you sitting in the bathtub with money raining down on you, and you're sitting in the bathtub, and it's just hilarious because there's this visual of all these paper bills flowing down on you, filling up the bathtub, and you're just sitting in there giggling with glee and delight. So there is an element, not yours, but in your past line. This is fascinating. Please understand this is not you. This is not a reflection of who you are. But in a past lifeline, there's these essences of people who stole or who embezzled or who took money from others. And so that can be cleared out easily. And that, for some reason, there's some kind of an influence in you right now. There's this feeling of guilt. But it's not you. It's just within your genealogical line. So, I mean, we can't be blamed for actions that other people have done. But at the same time, we're so sensitive that we take it on as ours because we're all one. And so I just want you to know it's not you, but there's this feeling of guilt within your heart space. It's just like, yeah, I don't want to admit this, but yeah. So, but yet abundance is your birthright, actually. So it's there.
So can you please scan for Karen which option 1, option 2, which is the in her highest good?
So they both scan very high, almost the same. Almost the same.
Okay.
It's really fascinating because I usually see one or the other, but they're both the same.
Your choice, Karen. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. It's all yours. It's all yours. Okay, let's go to Keswick with Glenn. What's the number 1 block to Glenn's abundant heart?
Okay, tuning in. Thank you. So with Glenn, it's this feeling of everything I do. People just, there's a feeling of anger and a little bit of frustration, but it's more of like, come on, people, why aren't you accepting my gift? I have these amazing gifts. I can help you. Why aren't you accepting my gift? And so there's this feeling of one of those where you give more than you're willing to receive. And there's this tying in of, I don't know if it's, okay, let me tune in here. So there's this, sometimes when we are children, we're raised in a certain way, and when we are looking to our elders for guidance, we adopt their mannerisms and habits, even though it might be wrong. We don't know, because as children, we learn from our guardians and parents and those kind of authoritative figures. And then as we get older, we realize, no, that's not right. No, that's not in the highest good of all, when we get more developed in the spiritual work. And so what I'm sensing here is this idea of a masculine parental guidance stating, no, you should not be doing this because it's not considered masculine. And there's this idea of they were fearful of the impression they gave out in the community. For example, if you were going to see a doctor, if the doctor did not come across confident, you wouldn't trust that doctor. So they have to appear confident. They have to be, okay, this is what we discovered, this is what we're doing. And that's part of their identity as a profession. And they're trained that way as well. And so that's what I'm sensing with this heart space that I'm reviewing right now, is this feeling of there's confusion and conflict. There's a conflict in the heart because you have all these amazing gifts. People aren't accepting it because there's a little piece in your heart thinking, no, the influence is I'm going to be considered weak, or I'm not going to be considered an expert, or I'm not going to be considered strong, and we have to worry about our appearance, our impression that we give out in the world. And it's interesting because this one I can see you've already done the work for that, but that element is still there. And so the group session and the radiant brightening will really help with that.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Glenn. Blessings. All right, before we wrap up and discover this very special announcement that's going to support so many, so it's very mysterious. Let's keep the mystery for a few more minutes. We have a live caller in South Africa, so I want to bring Helen on the line. Helen, hello. Hi.
Hi, good evening to you.
Good evening, Helen. Welcome.
Yes, same question. What's the block to my radiant heart?
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, tuning in with you. So much love. Oh my goodness, you have so much love. Wow. You have so much love. I see an abundance of harvest. I for some reason, I'm seeing potatoes. I don't know if you have a garden or anything, but I see abundance, harvest, lots of potatoes. You have a unique gift of having to do with food and cooking, and that's what's coming through. But there's also this feeling of being taken advantage of, or people are just taking and not acknowledging you as the source of the gift of the abundant treasure. So there's something within this idea of, yes, it's from me, but it's not me. And there's an idea of not wanting to take ownership of the amazing gift you are because of feeling afraid of being haughty or being selfish or arrogant. And that's not you. There's a humbleness, but your heart, it's got this history of, you got to stay humble. You can't be selfish. Nope, that's not you. Everything you do is a gift, but you're losing your sense of ownership within your role as being provided as a vessel to provide this gift on earth. And so there's this conflict of not being willing to accept the gift that you already are. And if you were to do that, there's this feeling of being punished for doing so. So there's a little bit of that fear and that lack of not willing to acknowledge how wonderful, how your gifts are really. Like, people really love. Do you cook? Are you a cook, or do you do food? Something with food?
I used to have restaurants, not anymore. Yes, I do create. I am quite creative with cooking, but living on my own now, I get a bit lazy. And I do have a big garden. But I'm slowly trying to move to England, but I'm in a space at the moment. Is that going to happen or not? Because the family role I was going to take is starting to look sour for the very reasons that you have mentioned. So, so all that is very much, prevalent at the moment.
So, Heidi, which option would best support Helen? Because apparently now is the time to take action and to get things in order, right?
Yes.
So the private session scans very high with this one, and it's not just for this immediate situation you have going on. There's multiple layers here. And so that one scans very high, but even then, even the remote radiance brightening might help smooth things out, but the private session does scan very high.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. I'm glad we got you on the line, Helen. Thank you. Blessings.
Thank you so much. Lovely to hear your voice again. Thank you.
Thank you. Blessings. All right. Thank you for all these readings and all the insights and the brilliance you've offered, Heidi Sue. Before we get to our special announcement, intriguing special announcement, I want to wrap up Heidi Sue's special offer, HEARTSPACE Treasure, Illumination, Treasures, illumination. Yes, there are many treasures in our heart. And in this package, you have two options. Let me start with option 2. It includes the Heart Treasures Revelation live group workshop and replay, and the Remote Radiance Brightenings, 8 days of specialized daily forgiveness prayers for abundance and prosperity. You have all the details at gracefulconnections.com/heart. If you're on the webcast right now, you have a button and a link. If you're on the replay, just scroll down the page to get all the details on this option 2. And you have option 1, which includes everything in option 2 plus the private session, the Heart Treasures Alignment 1-hour private session with Heidi Sue and the Sacred Heart Healers. You also have all the details on the page. And now let's get to our special announcement.
Okay.
Heidi Sue is generously offering a fast action bonus for any purchases of option 1 or option 2 by Sunday, August 24th at midnight Pacific. Heidi Sue, please tell us about your fast action bonus, the Abundant Heart Treasures Remote Multicast.
Okay, so it's a remote multicast, and meaning that it's multiple energies coming together and being infused in your being. So what this is, it's okay, so let me tell you, this high vibrational group multicast is a playlist, and it's a personalized energy program for everyone who signs up for the Fast Action Bonus, who qualifies for the Fast Action Bonus. So on the same days as the Remote Radiant Brightening, the same 8 days, there's an additional multicast where it will be run at least twice a day consecutively, supporting you with an improved abundance foundation. So none of these are the same. No two are the same. And so we will all get surprised and delighted by the essences that wish to come forth, along with an affirmation supporting each individual within this specialized group infusion. Now, I know there's a little bit of confusion, so take a moment with me. You'll take a moment each day to silently and reflect, breathe, and state an intention for being open and receiving your twice daily high vibrational multicast infusion. These are, whoever gets these will have a scanning done. I will do it quietly to create the playlist. And the scannings are actual high vibrational sounds, which is not pleasing to the human ears, but they are broadcasted out silently to you wherever you are, whatever you are doing in the moment. Your energetic being will recognize these intentional healing vibrations, and with your intentional reception, your being will assimilate these sacred frequencies into your energetic field. Okay? So not only are you being supported with the remote radiant brightening, which I will be doing with my own words, each sound, and trust me, you will not want to hear them, but there's sound for prosperity, there's sound for increasing your voice, and there's sound for each of the levels of the chakras, there's sound for even all of our vitamins and minerals. They each have their own unique sound vibration. And so I jumble whatever your being wants, calling forth, I jumble those all together into one cacophony, if you will, of infusion, sound, vibrations. And these are high vibrations that will be projected out to you, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, at different times. So that's what that is. It's a multicast. Taking and unique vibrations. Yeah.
And it came through quite a good number of the readings that this element would be of great support and is going to make a great difference for many of the listeners of the audience. So make sure to benefit from this fast action bonus. Make sure to purchase option 1 or option 2, either one, by Sunday, August 24th at midnight Pacific, and that's how you're going to get a real boost to your option 1 or to your option 2. So thank you for adding this to your brilliant package, Heidi Sue. Is there any closing words you would like to offer? You've offered so much already, but if there's anything you would like to close with, you're very welcome to do so.
So I want to say thank you to all of you, because your presence is a gift for someone else, the person next to you, to Sophie, to me. And it's really neat because when we all come together as a collective heart, the energy increases its vibrations. And it's just the most magnificent experience to witness, that you might not feel like you're doing or serving what you want to be doing, but you really are. Just your presence here in this moment is already lighting up the world around you. So thank you for that. Thank you so much for being you, the unique you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a moment to return to the awareness of the orb of grace surrounding us, allowing it to remain there, holding us, holding all that we have experienced, discovered, received today, all that we're not even yet aware that we have received, allowing it to sink in, to settle in, as we are held in the orb of grace for as long as it serves our highest good, our evolution, and the highest good of all. And I'm closing now by offering all my gratitude to each and every one of you, whether you're present live or on the replay. Thank you for joining us today, for answering yes to the calling of grace and the calling to illuminate the treasures of your heart. Abundant gratitude to our brilliant expert, Heidi Sue, for all the wisdom, the guidance, the heart illumination, and the sacred offerings you have gifted us today. Thank you, Heidi Sue.
Yeah,
and gratitude. Thank you. Gratitude to the Orb of Grace for providing a safe, sacred sanctuary for our exploration today. And gratitude for all the grace we are blessed with at every moment, whether we are aware of it or not. Grace offers all the nourishment, the nurturing, the healing, and the insights we open our hearts to receive. Gratitude to our higher selves and all the higher beings who guide, support, and protect us. And gratitude to the divine presence that flows through all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Until we meet again soon, may many graceful blessings shower upon us all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Heidi Sue. And goodbye now.